Hello everyone, I'm back again with yet another video. This video will be about my literature unit study, and we've chosen to start with some Shakespeare. Yay! I've always loved Shakespeare. So I found these great books. This one I had for a long time. I don't remember where I bought it from. Sometime when I was in New York, I purchased that one. But this one I bought from a curriculum fair. It was like $1. So this is basically A Child's Portrait of Shakespeare by Lois Burdett. And this is Shakespeare's life in easy to read, easy to understand text. And it actually rhymes. So the kids really did enjoy listening to this story. Yes, baby? No, they're for outside. You're going to eat sunflower seeds outside, baby.
I want to eat them outside.
Okay, go ahead quickly because it's going to get dark soon. Okay, do you know where they are? They're in the snack cabinet. Okay. Sorry about that. So, yes, I read A Child's Portrait of Shakespeare to them last week. We actually started with this. And from one of the William Shakespeare websites, I printed this out, which is just a quick timeline of his life. And next to the timeline, or next to each of the dates, what I did was I put each of the child's initials. That's what I'm trying to say. I put each of the child's initials next to a date, and they created this that you see on the floor. This is a pictorial timeline of Shakespeare's life. So we did this last week. This was just the introduction to Shakespeare. So the first picture is his birthday, his life, the day that he was born, April 23rd. And the next one, I think, is, baby, I told you, in the snack cabinet.
I looked in there.
Okay, well then if you can't find it, then that means you don't really want it.
I do.
Okay, then I would suggest you take your time and look in the snack cabinet. Get a chair, look in the basket, or look on the side of it. Sorry. Okay. And this one is the first day that Shakespeare went to school when he was 7 years old in 1571. This one is November 1585. This is when he married Anne Hathaway. So that's Shakespeare, and I think that is his wife. That represents the church, and these are all the people in the church. Very creative. This was the day that Shakespeare's daughter was born. Susanna is her name. Here's the day that Shakespeare and his twins were born. He had a set of twins, a boy and a girl, Judith and Hamnet. Hamnet died when he was 11 years old. And here is Shakespeare when he decided to leave to go to London to start his acting career. And here's when he first started creating sonnets in 1563. And here is where he joined the Lord Chamberlain's acting company. This is when he created Romeo and Juliet. And I think that's supposed to be Romeo and Juliet. They love each other. The kids did a fabulous job with this, by the way. This is when, this is Shakespeare. This is his son. When his son Hamlet died, he was very sad. And this is when the Globe Theater, Shakespeare built the Globe Theater. This is when the Globe Theater had the fire. And this is April 23rd, 1616, when Shakespeare dies. Okay? So the kids did a very good job. You need to wait until I'm done, baby. When I'm done, then I'll be able to go and get them for you, okay? Otherwise, you need to look for them for yourselves. For yourself. Turn on the light. You can do it. Okay, so that is the pictorial timeline, and I used this for the kids to learn those different facts about his life. We are also going to start learning about sonnets. And so I've got two of his famous sonnets here, sonnet number 29 and sonnet number 18. So we're going to kind of start with that. And there's a few other things here. I'm not going to get totally into detail with all of that. But this is one of the books that I'm going to use to have the kids to put on the play A Midsummer Night's Dream. So next week, beginning this week actually, we are going to read this book. And each child will have a part, and they are going to act out. Not the entire play. We'll probably do just like one act, one scene type thing. Probably the beginning where... in the beginning of the story where the Hermia wanted to marry Lysander, but her father was against it and wanted her to marry Demetrius. Demetrius was in love with her, but she didn't love him. So the kids were very excited about hearing that portion of it. So we're going to do that. But we're also going to learn a lot about England. So for geography, we're going to tie in England because that's where Shakespeare was born. That's where he grew up. And where he lived. Stratford upon Avon is where he lived, and then eventually moved to London. So we're going to do the United Kingdom's flag here. Then we're also going to do another timeline. We're going to do a written timeline, and we're going to use this sheet, this notebooking sheet, for that. And on the side over here, I've created, here's my lesson for the set design and the costumes. And I've gathered some of the materials that we'll need. We are going to use these, what do you call these things? The science project display boards. This is what we'll use to make our portable set, so to speak. So I've got a bunch of these, and I think I probably have about 4 or 5 of those. And I have a bunch of cardboard that I've already cut out, and I've labeled the pieces because we're going to make, the scene is set in the woods in Athens. So that's the only scene that we're going to recreate. And so here's part 1 of the tree, part 2 of the tree. That's going to be taped or glued together, however, and then we're going to use some of this paper here. I've got this newsprint paper. I've got a ton of this, and we're going to use this to create the scene. And so, like I said, I basically labeled these. These are nameplates. So each of the students will have a nameplate. They're going to make these. They're going to paint them, and then they're going to write the name on the front. This is Helena's name. So they're going to paint this one solid color and then kind of decorate it with her name on it. And then they'll have, I'll punch holes in it for string to put around their neck. So the nameplate and possibly a hat will serve as the costume. So that we don't, we're not going to really be able to get as elaborate as I'd like. But, you never know. If I find some things that I can use to add to the costumes, we'll do that. But just for the sake of time, I thought nameplates and possibly hats would suffice as costumes for them to get into character. The story also has a lot of fairies in it, so I'm also making fairy wings, and we're going to hang fairies around. So we're going to be able to have a lot of fun with this, and the kids are excited about it. They're excited about actually performing their little skit for our co-op. So that's what we're actually going to do at the end. So, and that's pretty much it. I've got here, this is a book I bought from, it says Discard, from my library for, I think it was 50 cents, something like that. And this has 5 different plays in it. I like this book because of the pictures, some of the pictures that they have. There's a picture of Shakespeare right here that is a really good picture of him that the kids are going to use to put on the outside of their lap books, because we are going to do a lap book and a lap book about Shakespeare and about his poems and some of the different plays that he's written. So that's it. If you have any suggestions, please don't hesitate to comment, subscribe. Let me know how I can better do different activities or something like that. I just really want the kids to have a lot of fun and learn from this literature unit on Shakespeare. So if there's something that I'm missing that you think I should use, please, by all means, let me know. Feel free to comment. Thank you so much for watching. God bless. Goodbye.